I don't know, but it smells lovely.
I know, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It smells lovely.
It doesn't. Yeah, we just stopped at the side of the road, nowhere special. Ugh. It's a good thing about having a van. Yeah.
So I was the first one up this morning and I thought I'd come out and use the loo. The toilet zip was frozen solid, so I gave up on that. Thought I'd come back and try later. The van looking a little bit frosty this morning. It was really cold. We pulled up late at night and we couldn't really see our surroundings. We knew we were by when we opened our sliding doors in the morning. We'd parked right next to the view was absolutely gorgeous. There was no one else around. We were the only ones here, and nobody else came at all while we were there. We didn't see anybody. We found out this position from Parking for Night app. I'll link that in the bottom for you. So I had a quick look inside the van because of how frosty it looked outside, and actually found that the inside of the windows were frozen as well. It took ages for us to defrost as it was quite thick, but I guess it was just the condensation and everything with it being so cold had frozen on the inside. No.
Hi.
Yeah.
Try this again.
So I think his battery was too cold this morning. He's not having it. Rising the lake. What's happening, guys? So our intention last night was to pull up, get ourselves set up ready for the night and do a little video about what had gone on during our day. Unfortunately last night the weather, it was absolutely epic. The rain was hammering down on the roof of the van, the wind was blowing so hard, it made the noise levels inside just, you know, you wouldn't have been able to hear a word we were saying. So we decided to give it a miss and do a quick video this morning. So last night, like I mentioned, the weather was just ridiculous. Our poor toilet tent nearly took off. It was so windy, it's so windy. We couldn't put the tent pegs into the ground and pin it down because underneath the layer of soil that was there, because we found a great spot, but you know, the soil was just like about that deep, and then underneath it was just rock, so the actual pegs, we couldn't get them in at all. So that nearly took off. Luckily, you know, the toilet is in it. The toilet, when it's got all your washing fluid and your flush liquid, is pretty heavy, so that kept it in place, stop it from blowing away, but it was all over the shop. Also with that, so I think that this is an accumulation of both last night's weather and possibly, you know, the length that we've been driving for, the miles that we've covered. Our window on the side of the van, which is in the sliding door, has popped out. Not completely, it's not popped out and fallen out, but what's happened is the seal around the bottom and the top, the silicone seal, has come away. So whether or not it's with us driving, going over bumps, because the roads that we've been taking, we've been missing out the toll roads, so the roads that we have been taking have, you know, been bumpy, been rough, quite a few of them. So I think that, and then the wind last night just got behind it and has pulled it forward. So you can get your fingers behind the window. The seal it's completely come away from the seal. So we did stop at a supermarket this morning to buy some silicone sealant. Luckily, they've got some around here in the supermarkets. They've got pretty much everything in one place, which is good. But I'm not going to lie, we don't know where to start. It's just one of those things that the way that the window has come out, the way that it's come off the sealant from the bottom, we would have to take all of the sealant off all the way around the sides, and then take the window out, scrape it all out, put it back in and reseal it. And with the weather at the moment, that's not a good idea. And if I'm being honest, we don't really know what we're doing, so we're best to try and find somewhere that can fix it for us. It is the Christmas period, we're now between Christmas and New Year, and we'll be lucky, I think, to find anybody that will fix it. So we're going to have a look, and if not, we're just going to have to kind of fingers cross it that it doesn't fall out when we're on our way. I don't think it will. It is still held in by the top seal. We do have to bash it in the top corner to get it back in, to make sure that it's not not popping out too much. The only issue we have really is with the rain. I mean, it isn't raining now. Hopefully the rain will hold off a little bit, but it does leak from the bottom, and nobody wants damp in their van today, because it can cause some massive dramas. So I have actually wedged a tea towel just underneath it, not to the point where it's pushing it out, but just to the point where it can soak up anything that's coming through. So we're a bit worried about that, if I'm being honest. So yeah, fingers crossed for us that we'll find somewhere to get it fixed. At the moment, we have stopped at an Ayres. This is just a normal Ayres that you can stay here during the night. It's got a big car park, but it is just a service station. It's nothing spectacular, nothing pretty or anything like that. So we stopped here to fill it with water. There is no water filling point here to connect your hose to. So it's got the EU non-portable water, so we can fill up with drinking water, we can fill up bottles and things like that, but we can't connect a hose to it to put it in the side of the van. So what we've done is we've filled up some big 5-litre water bottles. We did have some of those with us because just before we left, I sterilised the water tank. We have a 40-litre water tank in the back of the van. I sterilised it with Milton, and although I flushed it out numerous times, you can still really taste it in the water. And if you're cooking and things like that as well, we used it for cooking on the first night, and the pasta just tasted like bleach. So that was an epic fail on my part, really. So we bought some of these water bottles, these 5-litre water bottles, with us, so that we can use it for drinking and for cooking and things like that. And it's also really good to have something like that in your van that's full in case of emergencies. You always need water. You never know, if you're going to be able to find it. Europe is pretty good. There's always somewhere you can get water of some kind, but just to be on the safe side, we filled up those. So we've gone to the tap, we've refilled these bottles, and we were up on the step trying to reach the water tank infill, filling up these bottles. So we've done that. It's freezing here today, and our hands are cold. Stephen's just off with Naya in the loo, so it's just me in here. I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a video. So yeah, that's done, and we've refilled those again and put them back in the van. So if the same should happen again, we've still got some clean, fresh drinking water. We're going to get going now. As soon as these guys get back, we're going to take off. Hopefully, we're going to reach Spain today. I don't know, because it's still a long way to go, but fingers crossed that we do get to Spain today. So we will update you in our next video when we get there, so please do join us for that. See you later. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe now and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. See you in the next one.